Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the final round of the season, the final Eastern Cup race here at Kalima. Joining me in the commentary box today is It's Go Bacons, and we'll be looking forward to watching the final Eastern Cup unfold, especially after the racing we have seen yesterday. Say hello, Bacons.
Hello everyone, it's an honor to be in the commentary booth. This is going to be an exciting and fun race for all the drivers and the commentators. Looking at the championship standings, while the drivers are working their way to start their first laps, Carson has a pretty comfortable lead over his teammate Kuhan Gizmo in the championship. And in my words, I believe he has already secured the championship.
Yeah, both drivers, of course, driving for Swift here. Looking on board with Kuan now, who is second in the championship. He's still in a shout of the victory. Both Swift drivers actually did not attend the last round. So actually that would be kind of a disadvantage for Kuan, because it meant that he had one less race to try to close that gap down, because 22 point deficit, that's going to require Carson to finish like I think 8th at least, and Kuan also needs to do one qualifying to close the gap as much as possible. So the title could still go to another driver, except for Carson, but the momentum is in Carson's favor. He's done one less race and is ahead. But we'll have to wait.
Speaking of Carson, I'm sorry, Wesley, but speaking of Karsten, let's go on board with him as he enters in Sector 2. In my opinion, Sector 2 is the most critical part of the track. You have to ace every corner, exceeding all the track limits if you want to have a chance to win this race. Carson, of course, being stuck behind another car ahead, I'm sure he's going to be a lot faster than the car ahead. Let's see how he does finishing Sector 2. It's purple. Coming into Sector 3, let's see how he does in the hairpin. He exceeds it pretty well, goes a little bit wide. Coming to the Sector 3 chicane. One of the worst chicanes in the entire game, in my opinion. He goes a little bit wide, that's going to compromise his lap a little bit. As he comes through the final two corners, let's see how he aces them. Pretty decent, almost hitting the first apex and then hitting the second apex to get the best run. Coming to the line, let's see how Carson does. Goes 36.3, that is not an ideal lap, as Kuhong goes first with 35.24. Cloud Hartman improves to first, 300 ahead of Kuhon. So that's a pretty good lap for Cloud Hartman. To see if anyone else their lap. Doesn't look like anyone really is on the lap.
I've got Shaiko on, I think he's on the flying lap right now. He has gone green in Sector 1, now going through Sector 2. A little conservative through the left-hander here, now approaching the hairpin, braking around 70, 75-ish meters. He's running a bit deep through the corner though, not the greatest exit onto the big long straight with a swooping full throttle left-hander coming up. Want to keep it tight through there. Now onto the back straight, approaching the next braking zone. You want to look to the left to the 100 meter spot. You want to brake right before it, brake on the curb, then try to hit the apex, not run wide. Unfortunately, Shaiko running a bit wide here. Now going through the chicane, you want to look for the 50 meter ball, then turn in, get as close to the inside the curb, keep it as tight as possible through the left hand and opening it up for the right hander, as Shaiko is being passed by Kuhan. one of the championship contenders now through the final corner. Double apex. You want to hit the first one, hit the second one, not run wide, which I did manage to do.
As Jaco finishes up his lap, Carson now beginning his flying lap. Let's see how he does in Sector 1. He takes the first couple corners pretty cleanly. Let's see how he does in the Sector 1 chicane. Misses the apex. Hits the apex for the second turn of the chicane. Oh, I'm sorry, I mean Kuhan. The Kuhan goes purple in Sector 2. Carson, in the meanwhile, is coming across the Sector 2 hairpin. He aces it pretty well. Ivan goes purple in Sector 2. A lot of drivers on very good laps right now. Let's see how Kuhan does on the Sector 2 back straightaway. Trying to keep it within track limits. Oh, and I think Kuhan made a mistake because he reset it on his flying lap. Person, not a good Sector 2. Moving across Sector 3 chicane. Makes it pretty decently. Sticky Wolf Ivan is also on a good lap, as he said, a purple in Sector 1 and the green in Sector 2. Surely this is going to be on pole. Carson goes pole with a 35.6, which is a pretty good ideal lap. Let's see how Ivan can do. Coming across the line, Ivan goes pole with a 35.1. That's a very good lap for the Division 3 driver. Looking to see if anyone else is starting their lap. It looks like Enzo is coming across the final couple corners to begin his flying lap. Let's see if we can go on board with Enzo to see if he can make some noise to maybe challenge for pole or a front row start.
Oh, he turned it a bit too early. He had to correct, and that caused him to run wide.
Yeah, that was not a very good turn 1, excuse me. That's going to cost him surely a couple of tenths as he runs wide again out of the chicane. He still goes green though, so he's still looking to improve. Takes the bar in corner very nicely. Comes across the left-hander, hits the apex, keeps it on track limits. Coming to the Sector 2 hairpin before the massive back straightaway. Takes it very nicely either way. Keeps it within track limits through the fast left-hander. Let's see what Enzo does. Is he going to improve? He goes purple in Sector 2. Enzo really showing some pace right here. Takes the hairpin very nicely indeed. However, I still got to look back at that Sector 1 because he did make a couple of mistakes as Enzo keeps it within track limits. I thought for sure that was going to be a corner cut, but fortunately it wasn't. Enzo rounding the final corners, misses the first apex, hits the second apex. Enzo coming to the line. And Enzo put his car on pole? Yes, he does! The 35.1, almost 500s ahead of Ivan. It looks like Italian's on his lap, but unfortunately he went a little bit wide, which is probably going to compromise his lap. He went red in Sector 1, but improved on Sector 2. Let's see what he can do. Coming to the line, Italian, can he improve his lap? No, he can't. Italian has to be a bit disappointed for that.
Okay, let's see who else on that. Frankie Richboy, who's that actually? Oh wait, yeah, that's a new driver, I'm sorry. Yeah, so he's going up into 7th place, 9 tenths away from pole position. Decent effort by the new driver. Then we've got Leon, who is on a lap down in last right now. The only driver yet to set a lap time in this session. going down the back straight now. Let's see, Carson is in the pits right now. Let's see who else might be on the lap. Ivan seems to be on the lap, but has 2 red sectors to his name. But we'll watch Leo now going through the final couple of corners, not keeping it quite tight through the left-hander, so compromising his run through the second right-hander. I think you should keep it a bit more tight through the left-hander. Putting the final corner, double apex. I think he got a bit on the off-road when turning in. He's running it a little bit wide coming off the corner, but still could be a decent banker lap for Leon. What it's going to be? It's going to be 11th place. Let's see who else currently on the lap right now. Enzo Boy is not going to be able to set a lap time, I'm afraid. Then we've got
Let's see what MJ can do.
Yeah, running very
MJ
wide.
rounds the final corner, goes a little bit wide. He's green in sector 1. He's green in sector 2. What can he do in sector 3? He goes pole! He goes pole! MJRB5 pole position for the first time in his first pole position in his FRL career. What an outstanding lap by MJRB5.
Peter Guo is still on the lap. Let's see what he will do. And he stays in 12th position. And that concludes qualifying.
An outstanding lap by MJRB5. His final FRL start as he announced retirement due to being very busy in school. What a way this could end off his career. Starting on pole, let's see what he can do in race.
Yeah, let's see what's as everyone's lining on the grid. Let's have a look at the strategy. We see currently there's still a couple of cars yet to join the grid, so we'll have to see what tires they're actually going to pick. I actually raced in Division 1 race for change yesterday, and I went for the hard strategy. Some people went for a medium hard or a hard medium strategy, but I personally think that the hard strategy is the safest strategy to go for, unless you can really make the mediums work when they are fresh.
His hards are very consistent around this lap. You can, from race perspective, you can do around sub 30, mid 35s the entire stint on hards. But we're not going to talk about hards right now. We're going here to talk about the race. 5 lights out. It's lights out and away we go. Enzo seems to get a little bit of a better start than MJ. Followed by Ivan, followed by Carson, then Cloud Hartman, then Kuhan. They all seem to take turn 1 pretty cleanly. MJ leads Enzo by roughly a tenth. Enzo's going to get the slipstream. Let's see what they can do in the chicane. Enzo breaks later, but he's going to have a bad exit.
Yes, MJ with a good start here in the lead, breaking a little bit early. It looked like that. Oh, that maybe just like
that's
a small corner cut that's going to slightly compromise exit. He is ahead for now. Going to the next corner. Let's see how he got on. Enzo taking the left-hander really well, using more of the space that was available to him. It's now there are now 4 cars exchanging positions for the lead right now. MJ is still barely ahead of all of them on their screens. I believe they should all be ahead on their respective screens. So there's no slipstream at play here, maybe for only Carson, who is coming through right now. It's a 5-way battle for the lead right now, heading into the 3rd sector, breaking around the 100-meter board, all turning in nicely, all going well. Ivan missing the apex a little bit, so falling back a little bit. It's crucial not to fall too back through this sector, because if you fall too back, you're going to start seeing the other cars going through you. Because of the delay, on your screen you are 2 tenths ahead of where you actually are. I think Ivan now is going to start to notice the other cars going through him, and that's going to give him dirty air. As you can see, got some understeer through the final corner. So Ivan now having to deal with dirty air. The other guys all fighting to get ahead in first, and they shouldn't. They are too close together for any of them to get dirty air. There's still a few cars running wide there. That was Carson running quite wide there. Now the 2 Zoro teammates duking it out, or the blue Aguilas, my bad, fighting it out for the lead right now with Cloud Hartman and MJ exchanging positions for the lead, approaching the Bahrain S corner. Late apex here, both taking it well. MJ using carrying a little bit more speed through there, and slowly getting in the lead. It's really fascinating to see the different lines people take and the different taking points. So Cloud here is braking later. Did manage to gain a little bit of time? No, pretty much the same. Anyway, the two blue Achilles cars out in front with Enzo falling a bit back. He is, I think, barely in the slipstream. I think she should get the slipstream. Yes, he has gained time now. He is now clear on his screen, so no dirty air for all the drivers. Carson and Ivan have dropped back since lap 1. Both have lost the time on the second lap. MJ taking a really nice line through the chicane. Cloud Hartman running a bit wide. And MJ starting to stretch away. He should now be firmly ahead. Cloud Hartman and Enzo should both start to get dirty air now from NJ. Even though MJ runs wide now, that's going to allow Cloud Hartman to close up a little bit. Both blue Achilles cars opting for to start on the medium tires, interestingly enough, while Enzo is starting in the hards. But Enzo is barely hanging on, even though he's starting to drop back a little bit now, as the blue Achilles cars try to establish their hold on the lead.
Start for the top 3, still keeping it within striking distance. J rounds the barring corner very cleanly. Takes the sector 2 left-hander pretty good. He's coming up to the hairpin. Can Cloud Hartman try and outbrake him? No, he doesn't. MJ seems to get the best corner exit, but Hartman is going to get slipstream on MJ and close up that gap. Let's see. MJ and Cloud Hartman neck to neck. Cloud Hartman goes wide.
What was that? What was that from Cloud Hartman? He just steered off the track on the straight. That was a bit weird. And now MJ is now in the lead for now. Cloud Hartman should be getting dirty air now because remember, what we see isn't what they see exactly. If we see that one car is, let's say, 2 to 3 tenths ahead on our screens, that means the car behind will get slipstream and dirty air to deal with. If they are going through each other, then neither cars get slipstream nor dirty air. That's how it works in this game with the vision lag we are dealing with. Italian going in the pits very early, by the way. I noticed that she started on the soft compound, and only after 3 laps of racing she's coming in to make her first pit stop. Really odd choice there.
Yes. Honestly, it's not very ideal to pit on lap 3, even if you're starting on the soft tires. It would be more ideal to maybe go couple more laps, maybe lap 7 or lap 8 if you're on the soft tires. However, Italian was the only driver on the soft tires in the entire grid. Well, the battle for the lead is still firing up as Cloud Hartman has gotten back up to MJ. 2 drivers, 1-2, trying to bring home a massive amount of points for their team. MJ seems to get the best corner exit. Enzo meanwhile falling back to the clutches of Carson. Carson looking to claim that podium position. Enzo makes a corner cut. That's going to allow Carson to break away from Enzo and set his eyes on MJ and Cloud Hartman.
Yeah, looking at the Constructors' Championship of the Teams' Championship, even though Swift GP have a firm grip on that championship, they've already secured it. DD Azuro Akil, not to be confused with Blue Achilles, I think they are confirmed second because they are over 60 points ahead of third place, which is Blue Achilles. Blue Achilles going into this round are level on points with Premier Racing, and if both drivers can keep up what they are doing right now, then they are going to secure third in the team's championship for their team, as the Premier drivers are in 5th and 12th respectively.
Very big for it would be very big for the team to secure third place in the championship. We're tied on points heading into the race. See how it unfolds as we come to conclusion of this season. And it looks like Enzo really is starting to drop back. But I'm sure he's going to find more pace as the run goes on.
Yeah.
If you look at the tire compound board, the top two are on the mediums, while Karsten, Enzo, Ivan, and Kuhan are all on the hard tires. So this race will start coming back to them as the stint goes on.
Yes, that's
Carson's.
actually there's a
Go ahead,
battle
Wesley.
going on for 5th place as well between Ivan and Kuhan. Kuhan, of course, being one of the championship contenders in this race. He really needs to do better than 6th right now if he wants to have any sort of chance at getting the championship. But now he has to try to clear Ivan, which he doesn't seem to be able to do for now. Both on the hard, so they are on equal terms. Driving under
As I
equal
believe I saw
conditions.
MG go very wide. It's going to allow Carson to close back into him. I
Yeah.
believe the mediums are starting to really. I believe the medium tires are starting to really go away for MJ. Meanwhile, the hard tires are starting to come back to life.
Yeah, I think this is indeed a phase where the mediums are starting to drop off quite significantly, while the hards are they are very consistent. Even on 6 laps, you can get pretty close to the lap times you do at the beginning of the race. They are really reliable tire to be on, and that's why we've seen so many drivers drive on the hards for the majority of the races. But Carson has now called up to the leading pair, and MJ runs very
MJ
wide.
goes
He
very
misses the
wide.
apex, outbroke himself. It looks like he outbroke himself by miles there, and that has now allowed Carson to move up into 2nd place and try to chase down Cloud Hartman for the lead. Carson running a bit wide there. Let's look on boards with him. He is in the dirty air of Cloud Hartman right now. He should be right behind Cloud Hartman on his own screen, but he's running very wide. That's the dirty air at play here. Losing a lot of time on the exit to Cloud Hartman. The gap now 8 tenths. Going through turn 1. Both, maybe Carson ran a little bit wide through there. Let's have a look here. Going through this flat out section, approaching the chicane. Let's see how they are both going to take it. Carson, yeah, Cloud Hartman running wide. Carson taking it very well, tight through both parts of the chicane, and now he has cut the gap down to 6 tenths. Cloud Hartman missing the apex of the Bahrain corner, as Carson is now closing the gap even more. Now let's see, Carson, Cloud trying to drive as well as he can, trying to make fewer mistakes. Good 2nd sector by Cloud so far. That has opened up the gap a little bit, also because Carson has to deal with dirty air. But now look at this, we are on the main straight now. Carson is really going to be able to close in the gap quite a lot. He's now right behind Cloud, going through the hairpin. Cloud gets a better run coming out of the corner. I think Carson will still have a little bit of dirty air. He's not quite close enough on our screens to have cleared Cloud on his screen. So Carson still having to deal with the dirty air, approaching the final corner now. We're going to watch Carson understeer through the final corner. Actually, not too much. He really took that final corner well. He's in the slipstream. Cloud Hartman weaving on the straight, trying to break the toe. So now Carson is right behind Cloud Hartman, both staying within the white lines. Good turn 1 by both drivers. Carson having more understeer though. He's back in the dirty air of Cloud Hartman, going through the chicane now. Carson really has to outline Cloud if he wants to get ahead, because the dirty air isn't doing him any sort of favors right now. Going through the Bahrain corner now. Both drivers taking it very well, as they now head into, as we are now on the 8th lap of this race. We are, I think, 3 or 4 laps away from the first round of pit stops, and the only round of pit stops, as one stop has proven to be absolutely dominant around this track. It has been the dominant strategy.
Carson's gonna have a good chance at Cloud Hartman, as he's going to be in the slipstream. He's gaining so much time through the straightaways. Carson takes the lead. Who's going to get the better corner?
Oh,
Carson has to lift a little bit. He didn't have the best corner compared to Cloud Hartman. Meanwhile, MJ has been struggling these past few laps. He went from fighting for the lead to dropping down to third after a couple of mistakes he made. So if he wants to get back into this fight, he's going to have to make up some ground.
Carson is
It's
gaining. Could take the lead here if he nails the next couple of corners. He takes turn 1 really well. They are now on equal footing. Carson is surging ahead of Cloud Hartman and has now taken the lead of the Glimmer Grand Prix. Heading into the next corner, the chicane. Carson carrying more speed through, getting a better run. Jirka is in the pits, has entered the pit lane on his mediums. I wonder when Cloud Hartman is going to make his pit stop. He is on old mediums, but still holding up well with Carson, who should have the advantage now over Cloud on those hard compounds. But neither of them seem to be able to get an edge. Well, Cloud is a little bit ahead of right now, but they seem to have equal pace and not being able to pull away from each other. Carson does seem to be able to make the move, and Cloud seems to hold his ground for now on his wearing mediums. Can't say quite the same about his teammate MJ, who has now found some stability again after making a few mistakes. But MJ has dropped back quite a bit. He has managed to pull away from the 2 cars behind, but MJ has clearly he's seemingly out of contention for the win for now, as he is 2.6 seconds back and dropping back ever more slowly through the next couple of corners. Carson and Cloud Hartman still at it for the lead here. Cloud taking a wider line, both running wide. Oh, Cloud Hartman is coming in. He's going for an undercut, an early pit stop. MJ is coming in, both Blue Achilles cars coming in for a quite an early pit stop. They're going to go for the undercut here, which means that at least Cloud should be able to be in first after the other guys have come in. MJ should maybe be in second if the undercut works out for him.
OMG, not a good pit entry.
That's going to cost him a few seconds. That's going to make this race a little bit harder for MJ here. Leon is also in the pit right now. Let's see what tires he's going to be on. He's going on hards. Everyone who's coming in should be going on to hards. But 14 laps on the hards, that's going to be quite a bit. Especially if the likes of Carson only decide to pit around lap 11, lap 12. That's going to be a significant tire advantage once they do make the pit stop. Right now, the guys who start the mediums will have, who have just gone onto the hard compounds, they will have the advantage. They should be able to gain time through the undercut, but then after that, it's going to be, yeah, they have some work cut out for them in order to try to stay ahead after that. Because Carson, who made a small mistake, went a bit wide through the hairpin here. Let's see if he's going to respond to the Achilles drivers or if he's going to run his own strategy. Because I would recommend him to stay out one more lap, because otherwise he's going to have to do a long stint and he won't have a big advantage in the second stint. He is staying out, following his own strategy. Going through turn 1. Meanwhile, Ivan and Kuan are battling for what is for now P2. Ivan ahead. These two have been at it all race for what was previously 5th place, but now is for 2nd place, as a few cars ahead have come into the pit lane. Both seem to be driving pretty well, neither getting managing to get closer or further away from the other. Kuan with the understeer goes wide out of the Bahrain corner. He's now starting to lose time, going through the left-hander now. Bit conservative. Ivan starting to pull away a little bit here, but Kuan should have the slipstream coming onto the main straight if he doesn't lose too much time.
Oh, Carson made a mistake.
Oh, big mistake from Carson. He has lost a lot of time.
It's going to help Cloud with the undercut severely.
Yeah, this could bring Ivan and Kuhan back in the fight for the lead. Big mistake from the championship lead. He's lost a chunk of time and now he has allowed Ivan to challenge him for the net lead of the race.
I'm sure Carson has to come in this lap, otherwise he's just going to lose more time to Cloud Hartman. See if
Yeah,
Carson is
he's got
willing to come into the pit lane.
definitely
I'm
had
sure he will.
his work cut out for him now. Yes, indeed,
Yes, he
coming in.
will.
Ivan is coming
So
in,
does
and
Ivan.
Kuhan is
And
also coming
Kuhan.
in. The entire top
And
3 coming in.
Enzo.
Enzo's coming in as well. Let's see what the cars behind are going to do. Frankie Richboy is in P5, but let's keep an eye out on Cloud Hartman, the man who was leading the race before the round of pit stops, coming around the final corner.
Oh, Enzo.
See the
Oh,
other cars
never mind.
and...
I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, Cloud Hartman is going to be ahead of Carson, Ivan, and Kuhan. However, he is going to be on a couple lap older tires. However, if you really have the consistency, you can make use of those older tires and still pull away from the guys on the newer tires. Has been proven from the Division 1 race earlier today.
Division 1 race was yesterday. Not sure what time zone you... I'm pretty sure you're from the same time zone as I am. But yeah, Cloud Hartman's got a massive lead right now, 4.3 seconds. That undercut has done wonders for him with the help of a mistake from Carson, who's now finding himself in a net second place because Frankie is yet to make his pit stop, staying out long here. Carson is going to get the slipstream from the start block here.
Maybe.
Yeah, Frankie getting the slipstream from the Starbloxian car is now overtaking him. Now it's now Ivan's and Kuhan's turn to get the slipstream from the yellow Starbloxian car driven by Frankie. I think Frankie is going to come into the pit at the end of this lap, which should be right on time.
On the same topic, Frankie has gone a pretty long stint on the medium tires as he comes into the pit lane.
He was driving in the mediums. Okay.
Yes, he has.
That's interesting. Carson is now 3.3 seconds behind Cloud. I believe Cloud has made a mistake, as the gap has gone down by almost a second. So this race might not be over yet. Carson is, of course, on 2-lap newer tires. They are all driving on the hard compounds, all the front runners. And yeah, we're going to... this might still be an interesting race. We'll have to wait and find out how the rest of the race is going to unfold. It's going to be a marathon for both drivers. The most important thing is to be consistent, hit your apexes, nail the corners, and of course don't make any mistakes, don't cut any corners, because one corner cut could ruin your race and could seal your fate, finishing lower than where you want to finish.
Yes, and the entire field has made a pit stop apart from the last place driver, Lord Mewtwo. So we should be good to go until the end of the race. It's on from here. It's about a 5 or 6 way battle for the lead. This is going to be a good one. Is the gap still really maintaining the same? Still 3.4 seconds, which is roughly the same as it was in Sector 1 on the same lap. So let's see if Carson can maybe try and close the gap to Cloud Hartman. In my opinion, this race is far from over. Ivan's putting pressure on Carson for second place. He's gone purple in Sector 3, so Ivan really is flying. Putting it all on the line. Who's going to get the best exit off the chicane? Oh, Ivan goes a little wide.
Ivan's clearly taking some risks here, driving aggressively, running a bit wider, which allows Carson to get back past. Going for the Bahrain corner now. Ivan once again running a bit wide. A little bit overcooking. Driving a bit too aggressively right now. Meanwhile, the gap from between Cloud and Carson is now 3.4. It's staying more or less the same for now.
Ivan has to keep it more consistent, and yeah, he has to keep it more consistent because, as you saw, he made two pretty big mistakes, even though they were not corner cuts, as he's going to get the slipstream and put pressure on Carson for second place. Pretty even exit off the hairpin. They come through the sector 3 chicane. Who's going to get the best corner? Ivan seems to get the best corner, but Carson is still there in his slipstream. Of course, Ivan moving up to second place. Looks like he's going to get the best stripe off the corner. Carson is still there in his slipstream. As they're side by side, entering turn 1. Oh, I think Ivan missed the apex a little bit. Still keeps it in second place. Carson, I believe, is in dirty air as it looks on my screen. Not sure about his screen though, as Ivan with a really good exit off the chicane compared to Carson.
Greens.
And all of this, in my opinion, is just helping Cloud Heartsman, because the more they're battling each other, the more they're giving dirty air to each other, and that's just allowing Cloud Heartsman to pull away.
Yeah. Cloud Hartman is doing good in first place for now, doing well. Only losing 2/10 on the final lap, which won't be enough for the cars behind to catch up to Cloud Hartman. Carson should get a little bit of slipstream though down the back straight. Maybe he's going to be able to get past Ivan once they are at the end of the straight. Carson closing the gap now. He's closing, and he's going to get past Ivan again for second place in this race. Both going through the hairpin, negotiating the hairpin well. Kuan hanging on behind, are looking at the two cars ahead of him, battling it out. Full second place in this race. Carson running a bit wide. Ivan back in to second place. The gap to first 3.1 seconds right now. Has slightly come down, but not by a lot, as we are now going on to the 16th lap. So 8 laps to go in this race. It's still a long way to the checkered flag. And
Carson makes a mistake.
Big mistake by Carson. That is allowing Kuhan to get past into third place. It could be for the championship. Shouldn't matter though, because Carson is still in a comfortable position. It's only one place, but Kuhan messes up the chicane. Takes it very slowly, and that is allowing Carson back past. So both Swift drivers making mistakes through sector 1 and allowing Ivan to get a small breakaway here, as Ivan goes green again in sector 1. Kuhan running very wide, Carson running a little bit wide. I think Ivan also ran wide going through the left-hander, going through the hairpin now. Kuhan and Carson still together. They should both be getting the slipstream from Ivan up ahead. Cloud Hartman has opened up the gap a little bit, looking good in first place for now, as they are now closing in on Ivan. Kuhan, can he get past? Carson, can he get past? Looks like Kuhan, and Kuhan is slowly getting ahead of Ivan right now, going through the chicane, keeping it tight. Oh, was that a little cut from Kuhan? I think that was a small cut, but didn't lose too much time from it. Carson now is slowly getting ahead of Ivan, as Lord Mewtwo has entered the pit lane for the first time this race. I presume he will be going onto the soft tires. He is now a lap down on the other drivers.
Onto the medium tires, which is
Kuhan.
a little surprising.
Okay. I thought Kuhan was going to cut turn 1 there, but he barely managed to not do that. Now the 3 drivers fighting for second place, all very close together. Ivan running a bit wide, that's allowing Kuhan to get ahead. Carson a little bit behind. Carson is also getting past now. Going through the Bahrain corner, who takes it the best. All 3 negotiating it pretty well. The gap has opened up to Cloud Hartman even more, as Cloud has set a green sector, first sector. The Cloud clearly showing good pace here, despite him being on the oldest tires out of the top 4, I believe. So Cloud Hartman doing a really good job in first, really consistent, while the drivers behind are making slight mistakes here and there and getting in each other's way. It's really doing Cloud Hartman a favor here.
Consistency really is key, as the battle for P2 is still really heating up. Harston goes a little wide, probably going to cost him third position to Kuhan. Coming through the chicane, Ivan stays ahead. Harston doesn't get the best exit. He's going to allow Kuhan to put more pressure on him. Kuhan misses the apex. Both hit the apex in the final corner. They're both going to get a slipstream on Ivan as he's trying to break the slipstream. Keep it clean through turn 1. Kuhan, of course, being the closest to Ivan. Larson still trying to fight his way to P2. Championship fight might be over, but for the fight for second certainly isn't over. Carson goes wide. Kuhan gets the best exit. Through the barring corner they come. Kuhan goes the widest. And he also gets the best exit. Carson dropping back a little bit, but I wouldn't essentially put him out of contention for P2.
I forgot to mention, but I was talking earlier about DD Blue Gillis and Premier Racing being level on points hanging this round. Well, Scuderia North is only 6 points behind those two coming into this round. So there's also a battle going on for... there's a three-way battle going on actually for third place in the Teams Championship, and it's looking really close between Premier Racing and Scuderia North for fourth place, so that's worth keeping an eye on for the rest of this race. I'm actually going to work out right now where they need to finish, what happened, figure out the scenarios of what will happen to the points.
Yes, that's very worth mentioning. And Ivan misses the corner, goes a little bit wide. It's going to move the two Swift GP drivers up into P2 and P3 respectively. Kuhan seems to get the best corner exit. However, it's not over yet. Carson tries to fight back. Ivan putting pressure on Kuhan for P2. Coming into the chicane, Carson seems to get the best exit, however he goes wide. Kuhan surging ahead. Into the barring corner, Kuhan really, in my opinion, is the best out of the three drivers fighting for P2 through the barring corner. However, he does miss the apex on the fast left-hander, which allows Ivan to claim P2 again.
Yeah, Ivan is going to need P2 as it stands right now. Ivan is going to need P2 in order for Premier Racing to maintain fourth in the Teams Championship, because Enzo is in fifth right now. That's going to yield him 12 points. Leon is in eighth. That would yield him 6 points. So Ivan's really crucial for Ivan. Also, Leon, who moves up into seventh place, battling with Frankie. So we've got Leon battling and Ivan battling, and they both need to win their battles if they want to help their team out, claim an extra spot in the Team's Championship. But Ivan seems to have lost it quite a bit. He's now dropped back from the two Swift drives, and that's a disaster for Premier Racing, as now they are looking to finish fifth. Oh, Ivan running very wide again. He's really lost a lot of time.
Meanwhile, on the other hand, MJ seems to slowly be catching Enzo, which will also play a role in the World Drivers Champion and the World Constructors Championships. MJ, of course, making that critical mistake on pit road, missing his pit box, trying to gain back some time. However, it hasn't really played in his cards.
As it stands,
Go ahead.
Yeah, as it stands right now, with the current standings, with Ivan in fourth, Enzo in fifth, and Leon in seventh, Scuderia North are actually going to overtake Premier Racing for fourth place, and they'll be ahead of Premier Racing by 2 points. No, sorry, 4 points, since Enzo got second in qualifying, if I recall correctly. Yeah, that's right. So, as it stands right now, Scuderia North are ahead of Premier Racing by 4 points in the Team's Championship. Ivan is back in third. Scratch that, that's now just a 2 points difference.
Yes, meanwhile, Carson really has broke away from Ivan and Kuhan. I believe Ivan made a little mistake, which gave Kuhan the opportunity to take away P3 from Ivan.
Also, side note: if a tiebreak were to happen, if the two teams I'm talking about, Premier Racing and Scuderia North here, if they end up level on points, then I think the tiebreaker is going to decide in favor of Scuderia North, since they managed to score more points in one race than Premier Racing have. Actually, looking at the standings, I got a little bit wrong. Let's calculate the current live standings right now. Enzo dropping to 6th place. So right now, Ivan is going to collect 12 points. Taking after qualifying, the points difference between Premier Racing and Scuderia North was 4 points. Ivan is now in 4th, fighting for 3rd place. So if Ivan gets 3rd, let's put that scenario forward. If Ivan gets 3rd, that's 16 points for him and for Premier Racing. Actually, Mewtwo is in the points, so he's going to score 1 point as well. So 17 points for Premier Racing. And with Enzo in 6th, that would be 10 points plus 6 for Leon. That would not be enough for Scuderia North. That would actually mean that Premier Racing would gain 1 point and thus stay ahead of Scuderia North. So it's all to play for the team's championship. Every position counts here. As Ivan is now battling Kuhan for 3rd place, as Carson has now broken away in 2nd.
And while Carson has managed to break away from P3 and P2, he has been slowly gaining in on Cloud Heartman. However, I believe it's too little too late for Carson, as we only have 2 laps to go in this season's Division 3 Eastern Championship. However, the battle for P3 is still going, as Kuhan looking to extend Swift GP's dominance in the World's Constructors Championships and in the series overall, as Ivan doesn't get the best chicane. And meanwhile, as you were saying about the World's Constructors Championships, Leon has lost P7 to Frankie Richboy, which will also play in favor of Premier Racing and DD Blue Aguilas in the World's Constructors Championships.
Yeah, as it stands now, Blue Aguilas, Scuderia North would score 16 points, with Enzo collecting 10 points, Leon collecting 6 points. And 4th place for Ivan would be 14 points for him. So that means that North would close the gap by 2 points. However, that's 2 points too few. So as it stands now, Premier Racing will clinch 4th place in the team's championship by 2 points as things stand. So I think it's up to the either Scuderia North driver to take the initiative here and go for a move to gain another spot. So they really have to work really hard. It looks like Enzo has lost contact with MJ for 5th place. He's 3 seconds back. I don't think that's going to work out. Leon has an outside shot here for 7th. As looks like Kuhan.
Kuhan makes a big mistake.
Wide. This might have decided the team's 4th place in the team's championship in favor of Premier Racing, as Ivan has now surged ahead of Kuhan. He just needs to keep it together here, as Cloud Hartman is going to sail to victory in the final Eastern Cup race of the season. Ivan now needs to a little bit lag from Ivan here. Unstable connection right there. Hopefully that's not going to spell any troubles for him. Ivan with Kuhan behind. Kuhan is going to get the toe, but I don't think it's going to be enough for Kuhan. Let's look at Leon now, who has closed the gap to Frankie. Oh, running a bit wide. Leon is still he's still in a shout of 7th place, which could help their team. But I don't think it will be enough if Ivan is going to claim 3rd place. I think Ivan needs to get 4th and Leon needs to get 7th. But it's not over yet. Kuhan is closing in on Ivan. Ivan's running wide. That's going to allow Kuhan a shot at third place. It's crucial, absolutely crucial for Ivan to keep hanging on to third place, but he's not managing to do that right now. Kuhan is surging ahead a little bit. Ivan is losing fourth place, and what's Leon going to do? He's
Cloud
9
Hartman
tenths
comes
behind.
off the final corner. Cloud Hartman is going to win his fourth race of the Division 3 Eastern Championship Series.
Ivan has lost
What a
third place.
dominant
Kuhan
race.
is going to snatch away third place for
Oh,
Ivan.
Enzo passes MJ! Enzo passes MJ
Enzo's,
from P5!
what an upset! MJ with a big mistake. Enzo is now in 5th place, and I'm pretty sure that's going to give Scuderia Nord 4th place in the team's championship. Wow, Leon is still behind Frankie. Meanwhile, I don't think he's going to get past Frankie unless Frankie makes a mistake through the chicane. Leon running wide. Looks like that battle is settled, but let's run the numbers here. 14 points for Premier Racing. That's going to put them 14 points for Premier Racing. Now, that means that Scuderia Nord have to score at least 18 points here. And look at that. Enzo, 12 points. Leon, 6 points. That's for the 4 points they need. And Scuderia Nord are going to overtake Premier Racing on countback for 4th place in the championship. Absolute drama in the team's championship here, and an absolute devastation for team boss Lord Mewtwo for Premier Racing. Actually, wait. I forgot he's in 12th. Lord Mewtwo is in 12th, so he's going to score 1 point, and that means Premier Racing is going to hang on to 4th place by just 1 point. Wow. I forgot. Well, he's a lap down, and he's just making up the numbers, to be fair. But doesn't matter. He has scored the final point that their team needed to secure 4th place in the team's championship. So Lord Mewtwo, even though he's way off the pace, attending the race has meant that his team has managed to hang on to 4th place in the standings. And there we go. Here are the results of the race. Meanwhile, we were talking about the team's championship, but let's not forget the excellent driving Cloud Hartman has done. And Carson, who has claimed the Drivers' Championship in Eastern Cup, he has won with a good display, getting second ahead of his championship rival. And that's championship over for Carson.
Very impressive drive from Cloud Hartman again, dominating the race, winning his 4th FRL race. It's such a shame that he joined the division so late in the season. I really think he could have been a championship threat to Karsten or even Kuhan. It was a good effort by Kuhan to keep his championship hopes alive. However, he manages to finish P3 at least. Ivan, who tried to secure before, I believe, in the World's Constructors Championships, was a little bit short when Enzo managed to finish ahead of MJ in clutch after MJ made a very big mistake in the Sector 2 hairpin. But overall, it was a great race. And I believe that will do it for... Oh wait. I believe that will do it for the Division 3 Eastern Cup Championship for Season 4. Again, thank you all for watching. It's been such a pleasure. It's been a very fun race and eventful season. And we're looking forward to seeing you guys again next season for more great racing.
Yes, thank you so much for watching this excellent Eastern Cup race. We'll see you next time.